What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Erin Bees, and I'm really excited about this video. I think this is probably the number one question that people have, especially if you've been following me for a while on social media, is why did you leave? Like, what happened? And so I decided to do a video, and I'm straight out of the gym. So hi, how's it going? Please excuse all of this. I'm just kidding. I threw on some lip gloss. I'm a firm believer that when inspiration hits you, you need to act on it. And this is something that has come up a lot. And so I wanted to chat with y'all about it. So if you are super excited about that, let me know in the comments. And follow me on social media at The Real Beast Mode on Instagram. I'm going to put it down here so you can check it out. And you can also, if you're wanting to know more about the empire, you can check out my video. I will link it above here, and you can watch the video exposing the empire. Make sure that you like, comment, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you turn the little bell on so that you don't miss anything. I typically do 1 to 2 videos a week, although inspiration has been flowing freely, friends, and I'm typically uploading every Wednesday and Friday. So if you're excited about that, let me know. Before we jump into this, I did something fun on my last video, and I'm going to continue it on this one. So shout out to Megan K. I'm going to look at my phone and read her comment. She left me a cool comment on the last video, and she said, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to share and being the genuine version of yourself, because I know that pain. I know that feeling. I thought I was at the happiest. I thought I was helping people with ketones too. And I thought I could be different. I wouldn't be like most people in MLMs. I left all groups about 3 to 4 weeks ago and officially quit 1 week ago. Thanks to you, because I didn't know I needed to email customer service to cancel my promoter account or my ghost account. They make you make. I also appreciate in your content, since I also appreciate it, your content, there it is, since I was also in Pruvit and can relate to it so easily. Thank you so much for being transparent and for being you." Megan K, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So if you would like for me to read your comment on my next video, leave me something cool. And yeah, we'll go from there. Anything I discuss in this video is my opinion. It is based on my experience, and it's a part of my story. So that being said, let's dive on in. Here we go. So for those of you that aren't aware, what even is the empire? You probably saw the thumbnail in this video and the title of the video, and you're like, what is that? Or you know exactly what that is. The empire is the team name of a Pruvit team under Jessie Lee Ward. That is the name of her team. I joined this team September 2017, and I resigned from Pruvit in July of this year, 2021. And if you want more information, you can go check out my Why I Left Pruvit video. That it's in my anti-MLM playlist. So when did I leave? I think that this is probably one of the most asked questions. And I left the empire as a whole. I was still in Pruvit in March of 2020, the end of March. I don't remember the exact date, but it was the end of March. I want to say it was like the last week of March. I left. I just quietly left. And the reason that I did that was because I was exhausted. I was just getting over COVID. I was tired of the chaos and the noise that was surrounding me at that time, and had been for quite some time. I'll elaborate that in a second. I was exhausted. I was angry. I just needed, like, you know how you get over, I don't know if you guys are like this, but when you get overstimulated from noise and it's like you just want to like hide in your room and cover your ears, that's how I felt. I was exhausted. I was angry. I was tired of the noise. I was tired of all of the chaos that was surrounding everything. I was just tired. And so that was why I decided to just leave all of the things. And I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. So why? What led up to this, that all of a sudden, because I think that is probably the number one question that people ask me. Why? What happened? What did she do to you? People ask me that too. And there are two very specific situations that come to mind that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then you can look at the history, like the history of, well, if you're not going to do things the way that I want you to do them, and you're not going to pledge your loyalty to me, and I'm speaking like I'm Jessie Lee, then you're going to be shunned. And this is a pattern that has happened over and over and over again, not necessarily to me, but I've been on the inside watching it happen. I've watched the mean girl smear campaigns. I've watched all of that stuff. And I'm not okay with it. And I wasn't okay with it. And so the two very specific situations that I remember was, I was getting ready to do a training on a new recruiting idea. And it was a way to help people get started and minimize the cost. And Jessie Lee was edifying me on this team Zoom. So there was, I don't know how many people, 500 people or something, because she won't start training unless there's 500 people on the Zoom. And so she was edifying me. And then she said something along the lines of, I just found out that this actually wasn't Erin's idea. It was somebody else's idea. And, but I'm going to go ahead and have her teach it anyways. Yeah. Okay. You had the same reaction I did. Okay. The sad part about it is I went ahead and trained. So after that, after somebody that is supposed to be my leader, my mentor, my friend, somebody I've spent a ton of time with is going to de-edify me in front of the entire team. And for those of you that don't know what de-edify means, that basically means, when you are being edified, you're being introduced to somebody, you're being hyped up, you're being hyped up, right? You're being introduced in a really positive way. So de-edifying is the exact opposite of that. And so I did the training, and immediately after that training, I sent her a text and said, I don't appreciate that. I didn't think that was appropriate. I thought that was really, I don't remember the exact words, and she apologized. And so that was that. And I thought, okay, well, I shouldn't have to, that shouldn't happen again, because it was something that came up. I addressed it. We moved on. But there's a very distinct pattern that happens. And so the next time, and I don't know the dates, and I wish I did, but obviously I don't have access to any of this because I'm not in the groups anymore. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm just going to say it exactly like that. But it was the same situation. So let me give you kind of the history of this. I play basketball on Friday nights. And at the end of it, I'm usually really, really tired. And so we were having a text conversation, Jessie Lee and we were having a text conversation. And in that month or that previous month, I had recruited 6 people into the business, into my Pruvit business. And I'd been working with all of them and communicating with them. I knew what their goals were, and we were chatting and all of those things. And in that conversation, Jessie Lee was trying to coach me and was asking me, well, what are these people's goals? Because I said, well, they're not really doing anything. Little did I know that, these people probably joined and then went, oh, what did I join? I would, looking from the outside now, I would have been like, God, what did I join? All of these things. I thought this was supposed to be, full-time income, part-time work, but this is not how this is, right? You guys get it. Okay. And so we were having this text conversation, and then I came home, I got in the shower, I had something to eat, and I went to bed because I was tired after playing 2 hours of basketball. So the next day there was a playbook training event that was virtual. And so the entire team was coming together. She was talking about recruiting, and she used me as an example of what not to do. So she said, look at Erin. Erin signed 6 people up last month or whatever. This month, last month, whatever. And she doesn't know what any of them want to do. And the reason that she said that is because I didn't answer her the previous night before because I had gone to bed. And I think that is vile. I think that you're going to assume that somebody that you've known for a very long time and you're very familiar with my leadership style, that I'm not going to know what these people, what their goals were in their business because I didn't answer. And the worst part about that is that I had to hear about it because for some reason I wasn't on that training at that time because it was like an all-day thing. And so I was not in that training at that time. I had to hear it from some of my team members. I had to hear it from my mom. My mom was on the team. And so I'm getting all of these text messages and I'm like, what is going on? And she had de-edified me in front of everybody yet again. So the same situation that I was like, hey, I don't appreciate this. I don't think that that was okay. And she apologized and she was like, I didn't mean it that way or whatever. She did it again. Right. And so here's the thing. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. Leadership is not where you are breaking people down or making them look a certain way, on the negative side of things. Leadership is building people up. And this was the second time, and it probably has happened even more than that. But these are the two kind of situations that really resonate. Like I remember this and I was just like, that's interesting. And at that point I was like, okay, well, I'm a strong believer that there are things that you should confront. And there are things that this is not worth my time, my energy, or my mental space. And at that point, after all of the history, after all of the things that I have seen, after the lawsuits, after the changing of companies, after the petty lives, after all of this stuff, I finally had enough. I had finally had enough. What I was starting to notice was there was more time requirements. And if you didn't meet those time requirements for more Zooms and more training. And in my opinion, these are all smoke screens. And I've talked about this on previous videos, but these are all smoke screens designed to keep you busy so that you don't look at what is really going on. You literally think that you are chasing this dangling carrot and that you are, okay, I'm making progress. I'm making progress. I'm making progress. But it's all a smoke screen. It's all designed to just keep you there. It's all, in my opinion, it's all designed to just keep you showing up and sending messages and doing all of the things, but there's no carrot that you're going to find because it's based off of a broken model. It's based off of the FTC says this. You guys hear all of us talking about this all the time. 99% of people in MLMs lose money. And if you're in an MLM and you're watching this, do a profit and loss statement for your business. Do it. I think you're going to be shocked. The product that you're spending money on, the events, the training, the coaching, all of the things, you're probably losing money. So just do a simple profit and loss statement. And if, there's going to be 1% of people that are making money, but in order for them to make money, the 99% have to lose money. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. So all of this is just, in my opinion, smoke screens. This is just designed to keep you busy so that you think that you're making progress. I'm showing up, I'm showing up, I'm showing up, I'm showing up, I'm showing up. But you're not really making progress. And the worst part about that is that I feel like MLMs in general, the empire specifically, if you are not making progress, the finger is pointed at you. Well, what was the last training you went to? Well, what was the last event that you attended? Did you get on the Zoom last week? Did you, when was the last time you had a coaching session with your leader? Right? It couldn't be the model. It couldn't be the fact that it's an MLM. Oh, no. It's that person's fault. It's easy to blame the person for not making progress in MLMs. And I think that that's just gross. So the other thing that I was seeing was that everybody is doing the same thing. They talk the same, they look the same, they do the same things. Everything is the same. And if you're in an MLM, and all MLMs, you're competing with other people in your team, your leader, everything. Like, it's all competition based. So if you have everybody doing the same thing, how does that benefit the individual. It doesn't. It's designed to make the leader look good. Like, look at all these people that I'm influencing. Yeah, but how many of them are making money? Probably not a whole lot. Right. So I just was getting tired of, everybody doing the same thing. And by the way, if I see one more why network marketing post or one more sharing of a trauma with a call to action at the end, I think I'm going to scream. And let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. I was tired of the manipulation. So I will say this, in my opinion, Jessie Lee Ward is very cunning. She is very smart. She is very, very smart. And she knows exactly how to manipulate people. So for me, at this time, I was seeking massive validation because I was chasing the 6-figure mark. I was chasing the next rank, and I was very, very much seeking validation from other people. And so the words that she would say, I would hang on. If she was in town, I was by her side, because I was seeking that kind of validation. Now, this healed version of myself, I determine the value of people's words and actions, and that's a beautiful thing. But at the time, one of the ways that she would manipulate me specifically was when I was feeling down, when I felt like I wasn't making progress, which was a lot, when I felt like, hey, I'm not recruiting or whatever kind of scenario where I wasn't feeling like I was making progress, she would often say, Brian was just talking about you. And for those of you that don't know, Brian Underwood is the CEO of Pruvit. And so she would say things like that. And I'd be like, oh my God, what did he say? And I would immediately go back to work because I was seen. Does that make sense? Because I was seeking validation outside of myself. And that's a part of healing. That's a part of understanding who you are and really what you have to offer, because everything that you need is already within you. But when you are seeking validation, when your value is wrapped up around your accomplishments, you're going to constantly be striving to hear those things, to feel those things, to see those things. And it's not until you step back and you heal yourself that you go, those words mean nothing, not a thing. And so those were the times that I felt, now that I look back, manipulated the most by those, because as soon as she would say things like that to me, I would go right back to work. Did she have conversations with Brian? I have no idea, and I'll never know, and that's okay. Did these things happen? Did he say the things that she said he said? Who knows? Who knows? None of that matters, because her words mean nothing anymore to me, because I have healed past that. I no longer seek validation outside of myself. I no longer seek validation or, pats on the butt from other people. I know what I have to offer, and I know what I bring to the table, and I'm happy, and I have so much freedom now, and it's a beautiful thing. So if that is you, if you are seeking validation outside of yourself, maybe take a step back. I know I did, and it took a long time, you guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. The other thing that I was seeing is that there is a lot of stealing of leads within the customer group. So the Empire has 3 groups, and I talked about this in my Empire video. They have a customer group, they have a recruiting lead group, and then they have the team training group. Maybe they have some other groups now. I think she's got like a champ group, also one that I left, and some like maybe a frontline group. I don't know, but there's probably more groups than that now. But the customer group, it kind of goes like this. I have, let's say that I put a post up. And I'm talking about the product, or I'm talking about the business. Somebody says, hey, what is this? Hey, I'll message you. That's how this works. I get in the inbox, we start talking about it, and I start using the scripts. The scripts go like this, hey, thanks. This is not part of the script, but I would say something like, hey, thanks so much for, liking my post or commenting on my post. I'd love to answer your questions. They go, well, what is it? And I go, hey, what do you know about keto nat and ketosis? They go, oh, I know something, or, oh, I know nothing. And you're like, great. Can I tag you in a quick video? And then you add them to the group, you tag them in the video, and then you follow up with them. That's essentially how this works. So the way that this group was designed, because by the way, I helped create the group. I helped design the rules. And what happens is you add that person into the group, and because you added that person to the group, if they have questions and they're commenting on somebody's live or post or recipe or whatever, you refer them back to the promoter that invited them to be, that basically added them to the group. Okay. So what was happening was people were being stolen, right? Leads were being stolen, if you will. I hate saying that because people are not property, but I don't know how else to word that. But that is what was happening and continues to still happen. I know firsthand. I've got the receipts. It is what it is. Okay. But people were being encouraged, and still are, to leave the group so that the new promoter can re-add them. So that when somebody goes, wait, I've been talking to this person for 6 months or whatever about ketones, then they can go, well, but so-and-so was just added last week by this other promoter. Because everybody's doing the same thing, whether it's keto kitchens or telling your story or why network marketing posts or whatever, everybody's doing the same thing. And so people are following multiple people, which is fine. But then they realize, oh, I forgot I was in this group, or, oh, it's a cluster, you guys. It is a cluster. Okay. But people were being stolen, and it's grimy. And in my opinion, I think that it's unethical. Does that mean that everybody in that group is doing this? No. There are very good humans within the empire, but there are people that are stealing leads and encouraging people to leave the group so that they can re-add them, so that they're following the rules. That's what's happening. I was seeing a lot of that happen. And that, I just think that that's not ethical. I don't think that that's right. I think that if you have been talking with somebody, you need to refer them back, because that was the rules that were designed for the group. And there's a zero tolerance. But some of these leaders are the ones that bend that rule, in my opinion. Crazy. Things were feeling a little bit robotic. And just like I talked about previously, like if you weren't doing what Jessie Lee wanted you to do, you would be shunned. You would be completely shunned. Let's say you wanted to get your real estate license. She's going to shun you for that because you're not working your business. She's going to, what does that mean? When she shuns you, it basically means she's going to find a way to have you blocked from all of the groups, so you don't have access to the leads that you put in there. She is going to, not respond to you. Sometimes she's going to block you. She's going to instruct her leaders to block you. This is how all of this works. I have seen this for years. I have experienced it for years. I have seen her try to ruin people's lives because they wanted to create their own groups. I have seen her say, edify this person 1 second, and then the next thing she's posting like a passive aggressive thing in her stories, thinking she's doing something. And it's grimy and it's gross. I'll just leave it at that. But that's how all of that works, specifically with her. She shuns you, she blocks you, but then she's going to talk about you and all of this stuff. And just remember, if this is you and you've been in this scenario, that you determine the value of people's words. You do that. Okay. Smear campaigns, I kind of talked about that already. Blocking from the groups, and we already talked about that. So at this time, when I left in March, I had several team members that were like, why don't we do our own thing? Why don't we create our own thing? And I was like, okay, well, what does that look like to you? And we kind of got a game plan together. And I wanted to start my own group, specifically with our team, and specifically not including keto recipes, because I feel like there's a little bit of a bait and switch. And again, this is just my opinion. Okay. If you're doing a keto kitchen and you have somebody interested in that recipe and you get them into the group through that conversation, and the next thing they know, there's a sale or a new flavor or whatever. And by the way, would you guys like to hear or watch a video on the front loading that happens in Pruvit? Let me know in the comments if you do, because I actually had that planned for today, but this has come up and I was like, we have to talk about this. Like, this is too important to not do today, right now, after walking in from the gym. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to hear about. Okay. So I feel like you have this keto recipe, they get into the group, there's a sale, a new flavor or something, then they're going live, they're taste testing the new product, and people are like, wait, I thought this was like a recipe group. Or I thought this was like a 10-day challenge group, like where we're drinking water or we're doing, 10,000 steps in a day or whatever. I thought that but this is a sales group. Like, I don't understand. I can't tell you how many times that conversation was had by my, people that I was connected with, our team members, people that were on the Empire. It happens all the time. They're like, wait, I thought this was like a support group, and now it's a sales group. Right. And so I feel like there's a little bit of a bait and switch that happens, which I'm not a fan of anyways. But I wanted to start my own thing with our team without those keto recipes, only because that was a big kind of bait and switch. I wanted like the whole person concept, being able to actually support people, and then putting up sales every so often, but speaking to those people and letting them know, hey, we also offer ketones in this group, just so you know, and just being fully transparent with it. So that was what I wanted to do. And that is actually what we did. We launched it April 1st of last year. And so that was really cool to have something new, but it was definitely not welcomed at all. And how did I leave? Because I think what I've heard from a lot of people is you just like weren't there anymore. And that's exactly how I left. I just left. I didn't cause this big ruckus. I didn't run to another MLM company or anything like that. I just left. I just was done. You know how when you're done in a relationship, especially us women, like shout out to all the ladies, when you're done with a relationship, you're just done. You just keep it stepping. And that's what I did. I left. I left the chats. I left all the groups. I left everything. I left, I think at the time there was like a text. I don't know if it still happens, but there was a text app called Telegram that they were using to get information out about training or whatever. I think I was on like a frontline chat or text thread or something. And I left all of it. I deleted the apps. I left. There was no huge stink. There was no, social media slander or anything like that. I simply just said, no, thank you. I'm done. And I left, and I started working with our team, and I started to, put together campaigns and different things that we wanted to do for our leads and our customers in our group. And it felt amazing. I got a text about 14 hours later from Jessie Lee after leaving all the groups, to include the champ chat, to include, the leadership chat, the frontline, all of that stuff. And it was, I don't know what happened, but just know that I'll love you all. I love you always. And like, did you? Because if it were me and somebody that I was close with left a chat without saying anything, I would be on that phone immediately. Like, are you okay? What's going on? And that didn't happen. And that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to leave. I was done. So it's all good. But that's my story. That's why I left the Empire. I, from that point on, went no contact. And the only place that you are ever going to hear me talk about this is right here on YouTube. And it's in an effort to educate people to not join an MLM, to not join. Going no contact and not responding to anything that is being said about me. Again, I assign the value to people's words that are about me, and those words mean nothing to me. And it is what it is, right? I'm so grateful for the healing. I'm so grateful for no longer seeking external validation. I am so grateful for not wrapping my value around achievement. And the messages that I get when I am sharing my story and my journey and all of these things is incredible, So there you have it. I have healed my way back to being myself. I have healed back into trusting my own intuition, standing on my own 2 feet, embracing the silence, embracing the stillness, asking myself every day, well, what do I want to do today? And it just so happened that after all of these conversations that I've been having in the last few months, today I was like, we got to talk about this because this keeps coming up. This question keeps coming up. Well, what did she do to you? Well, what happened? This is what happened. And I was done. And I am done. And so if you have any questions about this, feel free to comment below. You're not going to see me post anything passive aggressive in my stories because that's not who I am. I'm going to I'm going to present facts. I'm going to speak the truth. I know that you guys feel that. And I appreciate you guys being here. So if you haven't already, like the video, drop your questions below. Make sure that you have subscribed. Make sure that you turn the bell on so you don't miss anything. And I'm looking forward to your comments. And if you would like to be featured, if you would like me to read your comment on the next video, you can either drop me a really thought-provoking question, or you can just drop something cool in the comments. So there you have it. Don't join an MLM. And if you are somebody that has experienced any of this, I need you to understand that you are not alone, that if you need help getting out, please don't hesitate to reach out. Probably Instagram is the best way to contact me for that. Yeah. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you continue to heal. And thank you for listening to my story. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.